POTS. Bethany Frankel, the reality star, she's in the news talking about how her POTS is totally out of control.
I am messed up. I am not doing that great. I'm so dehydrated and riddled with aches and pain.
Thank you to all of you for joining us on Transform Table Talk Live. I'm Anna Manuel, the co-host, alongside the one and only Dr. Maggie, UMD. Dr. Maggie, thank you for talking all about POTS tonight, because so many people requested this, and I think it's going to be a really illuminating discussion. Would you like to hear what Bethany Frankel has to say about her struggle now, Dr. Maggie?
Let's do it.
We're asking why my face looks different in my makeup videos, and it's because I am messed up. I am not doing that great. I'm so dehydrated and riddled with aches and pain. I've gained like 4 pounds while being here because my body's trying to hold on to any water it can. I wake up like every 2 hours in such pain and dying of thirst. My doctor said it's definitely connected to this POTS syndrome that I have.
Smarty Pants in our audience mentioned that could it be hormones related, and that's causing thirst. Did you know that someone with severe adrenal fatigue, or adrenal insufficiency can have severe thirst? That's a hormone problem.
I'm just thinking about when you say hormone problem, and when you talk about the hormonal problem also being associated with the blood sugar swinging, I know of one specific hormonal issue that is also linked to that, because you uncovered it in me. And so is there potentially a PCOS component here as well?
You're so smart. Why am I here?
You taught us all. You taught us.
I love this. So what I have found is in women, and men have different mechanisms, right? But in women, now we talk about adrenals, men and women, everybody has adrenals. So we know adrenal insufficiency can trigger some of these POTS symptoms. I just talked about it right now. Yet your cardiologists don't know jack about that. And the other thing is, what we found is in women, we teach in my hormone masterclass and in our main program that there are certain patterns that trigger symptoms. One of them being PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And most people don't even understand PCOS. Over and over again, we have people who are working with fertility specialists or gynecologists, and they don't understand what it means to get PCOS and how PCOS is linked with other symptoms. But polycystic ovarian syndrome, you don't have to have cysts in your ovaries. One of the major issues is they have a high-low fluctuations of blood sugar. And then we're just in this particular scenario talking about women. So then if a woman has PCOS, wouldn't that make her more susceptible to getting POTS?
Yes, yes. And it makes so much sense, because so many of the alumni that we have just recently talked to, and I know have recently graduated your program, this is exactly what they've said. When they were able to manage their blood sugar and their hormonal imbalance, guess what? Their POTS went away quickly.
Yeah.
It went away fast. So this is not something that you're going to have to deal with every day, in and out, forever. If you can find the right practitioner like Dr. Maggie and learn about balancing your blood sugar and some of these other things, these symptoms can go away.
I mean, I'm looking at Bethany Frankel and she's talking. I'm like, somebody tag her in social media. Somebody let her know. We have about 20 to 30 case studies of people with POTS worse than her that have been able to turn it around within a couple weeks. And that's why, I mean, this is maddening seeing a video like this and seeing people suffer. But at the same time, Bethany really represents a lot of people out there. I mean, it's not like she's a special, severe, worst case. She's just talking out about it, which I'm really grateful for. But there are millions and millions of Bethany Frankels that are in our audience right now that need to know you can turn this around.
And while we're talking about hormones, this person had an interesting question. Can someone postmenopausal have POTS?
Of course, someone postmenopausal can have POTS. In fact, they may have more of a chance of getting POTS. And that's the whole thing is, and can you be a man and get POTS? Of course, you're a man that can have POTS, because a man can have severe blood sugar balancing problems. A child can have that. Can a man have low testosterone, adrenal fatigue? Absolutely. Can a man have severe estrogen dominance, liver problems, or gut infection? The answer is yes, yes, and hell yes. So everybody can get POTS. And that's why if you have POTS, someone you know, I mean, write in the demographics right here and you'll see across the board. I mean, I want everybody to actually share and show just how common the syndrome is and how it can impact upon everyone and anyone. And it can have different faces. Not everybody with POTS is going to get thirst. Okay. In fact, a minority of them do. But to me, the fact that she does is already telling me all these clues about what's causing it for her specifically.
Which
So
is great. That's great news because then it tells you how to fix it.
I know how to fix it. It's not like, so, oh my God, you have thirst, you don't have POTS. Now we don't know what to do. Let's send you to the thirst specialist, which is what most people get the run around with. And yet when I hear, oh, she already got a diagnosis of POTS, she's got thirst, she's got swelling, she's got insomnia. I already know her blood sugar is a shit show going like all this. And yet nobody, I promise you, nobody's talked to her about that. I already can tell you, based on the fact that she has severe thirst, she's probably got some hormone imbalances, most likely possibly PCOS or estrogen dominance, but definitely adrenal problems.
Mhm.
And her keep going to see those conventional doctors will never bring in the answer she needs around her adrenals and her hormone imbalances because they don't even believe these imbalances exist. But her symptoms are screaming at me like red alert, hormones, hormones, hormones. And I'm curious, how many of you now this is ringing a bell?
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, wow, I'm making the connection that my POT symptoms are related to my hormones. Are they worse certain times of the month? Did they come on around perimenopause or menopause when your other symptoms were really changing? Did
Mhm.
this come on when like, did you get thirst with it? Did you get severe insomnia or anxiety with it? That's not explained by these symptoms, right? So those are signs that this is related to hormones.
And this person even says the Mirena IUD she thinks may have been a trigger.
So
So
when
other
you talk about the birth control pill, Mirena IUD, or menopause, what you're talking about is either naturally or artificially, you're inducing a time of great hormonal change, whether it's down or up. And this is what I call hormonally vulnerable times. So during hormonally vulnerable times, whether it's naturally, you're going through it monthly or around menopause, or because you got on the pill or you got on the Mirena IUD, some hormonal intervention, or someone started you on hormones, boom, that like it's like a floodgate because that big change in hormones, whether it's up or down,
Mhm.
will be one of the triggers of POT symptoms.
Mhm. And it's the same with many autoimmune conditions because I know like when I got off of birth control,
Mhm,
boom, I had a lot of symptoms. Of course,
mhm.
and then after giving birth, a lot of people have symptoms. So again, all going back to a huge hormonal component. If you'd like more information about the 5 pillars or ways to connect with the Transform team, just put a comment in our chat and a member of the team will get with you.
Thanks, everybody.